Hey there, everybody. Peachy Pop here. All four lobes of my brain tied up in artificial intelligence. I was going through my box of cassettes here. This is a box of cassettes that I showed you during a live feed that I started recording in the 1970s through the 1980s and 90s and barely into the early 2000s. Multi-track masters of many songs I've written. This is master tracks of songs I've written, comedy skits friends and I did. We recorded them all on either a pocket tape recorder or we recorded them on a multi-track machine. And these are my multi-track masters over here. Multi-track masters, 4-track cassette tape recorders, all analog. Recorded on a Tascam Porta 2. This is the days of the analog. I was born in the analog world, and then along comes artificial intelligence recently. It's been around for a while, but it's really been dumped into the public's lap just recently. And I just recently had a very disturbing experience with a fellow musician. I wrote a song called Painted Smiles. It's my song. I wrote the music, I wrote the lyrics, and I arranged it. So the arrangement was mine. The lyrics were mine, and the melody was mine. And I submitted it to the United States Copyright Office, copyright.gov. It's copyrighted under my name. I paid the fee for it, so it's definitely my song. And I wanted to record the song myself, and I recorded it myself on GarageBand, but I really was not getting anything close to the sound I wanted with that recording. It was awful. It was really not good. I don't sing much anymore, so it's very hard for me to sing because the muscles around my vocal cords are gone, and I just can't hold a tune much anymore because I don't practice. I don't do my vocalese voice practice, and I don't sing much. But not only that, my instrumentation was weak. The song sounded weak, but I felt the song had some merit. The song had some good qualities to it, but I couldn't seem to pull it off myself. So I took the song and I uploaded it to Suno, and I said, hey, use this song as the complete 100% model for what you come up with. I just want you to come up with vocal track and a rhythm track. And I was going to strip the vocal track from it and sing on top of it. And I uploaded it. It came up with a couple of different amazing versions of my song. It really brought it to life. And I was thrilled with it. It just sounded great. It wasn't exactly what I wanted, but the vocalist that they came up with, the AI, the artificially generated male vocalist, was just how it should be sung, to give it some passion, to give it some life, to give it some charisma, and some emotion too. And I'm not a real emotional singer. So I uploaded it, came up with this track, but I didn't want to keep its instrumentation. The instrumentation and the mix it gave me in return was not professional quality sound. The drums were all distorted and mid-rangey. The high end was all distorted. The bass was muffled and real gritty sounding and kind of distorted. The vocals were top-notch. The lead guitar work was pretty good. The rhythm guitar was not the best. But I took the stems, as I showed you in another video. Well, if you go to skatingbearstudios.com, you can show what I did with this song in Suno. So if I didn't say it already, I uploaded the song to Suno.ai or Suno AI. And that's where I got the rhythm track. So I took the stems and I downloaded it into GarageBand to replace my original multi-track. And I put my vocals on top of it. And it sounded all right, but I don't really like my singing voice. A lot of people say they do like it, but I wasn't happy with this performance. So I wrote to a guy I just met. He's a local drummer who has a studio here in Cleveland, and he does recording. And I don't remember what his name was, Bob or Joe or Fred or something. I say, hey, Fred, I've got this song that I'd like you to play drums on. And I'm going to send you the rhythm track that I created in Suno, and I want you just to, replace the drums. I'm going to sing on top of it and play guitar, and we'll create our own rhythm track because I want live instruments on it. I don't want the AI generated instruments. I want you to use the Suno track as a guide for your drums. And see, before I tell you his response, I got to tell you, I understand the evils of AI. I understand that these data centers are evil. They're dark. They're sucking up all the water. They're taking up huge amounts of land. They're taking over farmland and streams and rivers and lakes. They take a huge amount of resources and energy to run. I understand that there's copyright issues with AI. I'm very, very aware of the issues with AI. It's taking people's jobs away in Hollywood. It's taking writers, all creative aspects of art is being removed because of AI. I understand that. I know there's copyright issues because AI goes out into the digital world and it grabs little pieces of other people's work and puts it into a new piece. So it's kind of like sampling, digital, visual, and audio and text sampling. I understand the implications there and the copyright, potential copyright infringements. I'm very, very aware of all this stuff. But I use AI as a tool to help me round things out, help me maybe round out ideas that I've written. I use it to help me create new ideas with my songs. This Suno took my song in a direction I had never thought of. And that's not copyright infringement because you cannot copyright an idea. You cannot copyright a sound. Okay? Like Eric Clapton cannot copyright or trademark his, quote, trademark guitar sound. You can't do it. Otherwise, you'd run out of guitar sounds. And so I'm very aware of the implications of AI and how hard it's affecting our society, especially in the creative world. So I sent this gentleman an email. I didn't send him a song, but I said, this is what I want to do. I just want you to play drums on it. We'll erase the Suno AI drum track. We'll just overlay your drums on it and go from there. And in my mind, I think his response, if I could imagine his face, it was like, oh, no. He said AI. He said AI. Oh. This guy freaked out on me. He's like, I'm really sorry, but I don't work with AI songs. That's all he said. And I said, well, this is not an AI song. This is my song. I wrote the melody. I wrote the lyrics. It's my arrangement. I just used AI to come up with this rhythm track, and we'll replace the rhythm track with our own bass, drums, your drums, my guitar, so on. No, I don't use AI. I'm sorry. This is an AI song, and I just don't work with AI songs. And he sent me a link to a lawsuit. He said, they've been sued for copyright infringement. I'll have nothing to do with that. Ducomp's The Scream. I think it's a Ducomp that did The Scream. And his knee-jerk reaction was he didn't read my email. He didn't understand my email. I don't think he even comprehended what a copyrighted song is. Because I have met lots of artists in my life, and almost 99% of them have no idea what copyright is. They have no idea why they should get their songs copyrighted. They have no idea how it protects them in case there's a lawsuit. I don't think this guy understood what I was talking about. He just was filled with immediate horror and fear that I was going to want to produce an AI song. Oh, guys, I don't understand. I don't understand the fear that people live in this country now. Yes, as I've said, I am completely aware of the limitations of AI. The one thing I hate about AI the most of the time, it doesn't even give me correct information. Most of the time, it gives me erroneous information and it doesn't do what I tell it to do. I guess I have to be a wordsmith, a wizard, to write a prompt that gets me to tell it to create something exactly as I want it. but it rarely does. I used to have to go through credits upon credits upon credits upon credits till I finally get what I'm looking for. And by the time I'm done, I have no credits left, and I've got to spend more money if I want to continue with the project. But this guy's response was extreme, severe. It was knee jerk. He didn't even think for a moment. And I am baffled by it, because you can use AI as a tool to help you create. You don't have to use what it gives you, but it's just like collaborating with somebody. Now, if this drummer, or if somebody wants to get together with me that's rational and sober and has good ideas, I'd be happy to work with somebody, but I can't find anybody that I can tolerate. I'm sorry, I'm not into smoking dope. I don't judge you if you do, but I don't want you showing up to a gig in a cloud of pot smoke. I don't. I want everybody clean and sober when they show up to a gig. And I can't begin to tell you how many guys I get together with that got the pipe out, or they got the pills out, or they got the booze out, and they need it. They say they need it to create, and I just never go back to it. So it's hard for me to find anybody to collaborate with, because I'm a bit of a stick in the mud, if you want to use an old-fashioned expression. I don't party, man. I used to hang out with a lot of people that did. And nobody ever forced it on me. Nobody ever said, "Hey, Pete, man, you want a toke, dude?" A couple of people did, but when I said no, they knew no meant no. And they respected that. But I can't find people to collaborate with. Reliable people, drunk or sober. I can't find anybody that's reliable. So I turn to AI to help me with my creative endeavor. Not to mention the fact that some of the people that I want to collaborate with want tons of money. And I think I've told you all the story before, that there's a cinematographer that I wanted to hire from, I think it was Indiana, the next state over to the west. But he wanted $50,000 up front. $50,000 up front. I was like, dude, I was thinking, who do you think you are? He had some nice work, but he didn't have $50,000 worth of work up front. Or I think he wanted $25,000 up front. But anyway, I use AI because I have projects I want to complete. My most recent documentary, Voices from the Call Center, or Disconnected Voices from the Call Center, I couldn't get anybody to work with me. Reliable people, I couldn't find anyone. People wouldn't go on camera. People didn't want to be part of it. So I used AI. I did. What the hell? May as well. Got the project done. My project's beautiful. And this drummer just lives in a different dimension mentally. He has not, as most Americans, we do not have critical thinking skills. Most of us have no ability to go, oh, okay, so you just want to strip out the AI drums and have me play on top of that. Because he's thinking, oh no, that must be an AI drum beat and track that AI stole from Ringo or John Bonham or something. And oh my God, I couldn't dare do that. Guys, the likelihood that this AI software, Suno, took an exact drum beat from some other song and put it to mine, and it's identical in every beat and every sound and every fill, is almost infinitesimally impossible. It's almost impossible. My song is unique in and of itself, and the chances that there's another song out there just like it, with the same breaks, with the same fills, with the same choruses, with the same, is like impossible. And you can't copyright a drum sound. You can't. It's impossible. Ringo Starr can't say, "Hey, that's my drum sound on a Ludwig. Nobody else can use it. No more autographs. Peace and love." You can't. It's legally impossible to copyright or trademark a drum sound, a guitar sound, a vocal sound. If I could sing just like Paul McCartney, and he said, no, dude, you can't sing like me. Whoop-de-woo. I've got a trademark on that. It's ridiculous. If that were the case, if you could trademark sounds, there'd be no other music. It would have stopped at Chuck Berry. It was stopped at Buddy Holly, if not sooner than that, or Elvis, or any of the black artists. The black artists that came up with all the music that Elvis sang, it would have ended there. So this guy obviously thought, he panicked, knee-jerk reaction, and he said, oh, no, I want nothing to do with AI. And this is a strange time that we live in technologically. I mean, I'm sitting here with an old analog. This is my old analog pile cassette dubbing machine that I'm listening to all these old cassettes on that I recorded over the last like 50 years. And next to it is a digital switching device called an ATM Mini Pro. So I've got a little bit of everything in this room. I've got digital, I've got analog. And I grew up in a time where everything was analog. We had LPs, long playing, 33 1/3 records. We had cassettes, we had 8-track tapes, we had VHS. And then almost overnight, it all disappeared and has been replaced with digital stuff. And now everything's being replaced with AI. But I got to ask you, do you think this guy's response was legitimate? I don't have a right to use Suno to come up with a rhythm track? And we should not use AI at all? And I know there's a big uproar against AI, and I understand it. But if I can use it to enhance what I do here, I'm going to use it, because if you can find me a sane, sober person who's reliable and shows up on time to work with me, who doesn't want to charge me $500 an hour, I'm all for it. But guys, we're all just schmucks in the same creative boat here. And if you're going to charge me an arm and a leg to do a drum track on a song that nobody will hear, and you're not Ringo Starr or you're not some famous drummer, jump in the lake, man. I'm not paying somebody all kinds of money if you're not a top-notch session musician. Are you nuts? So let me know what you think, if the guy's reaction was legitimate, because I don't think it was. And get this, he's out the money. We could have worked on the song for a month. I don't remember what he's going to charge me. It wasn't a whole lot, but I was going to bring in money in for his studio. We're going to have other musicians in to do the bass and my guitar, my vocals. And instead of thinking it through and going, maybe we can work with this and not use the actual drums, even if you change the drums a little bit, there's no way some drummer out there in the world of entertainment is going to go, those are my drums, man. Dude, those are my drums. Oh my God, this guy Pete Tompkins, he made a song with my drums on it. I'm gonna get his ass in court. Do you know how hard it is to get anything into court? Do you have any idea how hard it is just to get enough information and evidence gathered to present it to a judge or a jury or whoever, to have them go, yeah, this is a legitimate case. Let's take it to court. It takes, number one, it takes 6 months to a year just to get a case even heard. And the amount of money you've got to dump into it, you'd have to have a musician that heard that track, identified that track as their own track from their own commercially released and copyrighted song, and then hope that they have enough money to fight it in court. And they'd have to have concrete proof that it was theirs. Concrete evidence that, they created it in this studio at this time and this date. It's all documented. It's copyrighted at the United States Copyright.gov. Do you have any idea how hard it is to fight something in the copyright, under intellectual property law? It's very hard. It's not impossible, but it's very hard, and it's very, very expensive. So most people don't know that, because people don't know anything about law. Number one, they don't know anything about copyrights. Number two, and they don't understand AI. So let me know what you think in the comments. And I appreciate your time, man. I don't know what else to do here. I got a song that I want to record. And I don't know, I'll do what I can to get it finished. So let me know what you think in the comments. And until then, I'll see you in the next video. Hasta la vista, baby.